So in our list of contacts, it's important to note that there are 4 different types of contacts. There are the phone contacts, which are the ones that reside on the phone. There are the Outlook contacts, which are part of this. They are the same as your email account on the corporate email server, and the same ones that you see in Outlook. There are your web contacts, which are they're contacts from your web applications that you might have synced with the phone, so Facebook, or if you have a Gmail account tied to the phone, it stores contacts there as well. And then lastly, the company, the corporate address directory. Now, the corporate directory is searchable, but it's not browsable. So what that means is that you can't browse through a list of people from the corporate directory. But if you need to pick up a phone number or email address of somebody else who works within the company, you can search our global address list from the phone and actually retrieve that information. So this particular phone actually just maintains a contact list that's pooled from all your different contacts. It doesn't really have an intuitive way to let you view the different contact lists. It just merges them all together. This can be somewhat misleading, and to make sure that you have all your contacts listed, you can press the menu key here, and it'll bring up more options in your contact list. What you can do here, this will give you more options, so it'll give you the option to add a contact, view contacts, which is what we're going to take a look at, import contacts, that'll allow you to import contacts if you dump them onto your SD card, backup assistant, which is an online service provided by Verizon Wireless, which lets you back up your contacts from any phone on their service as long as it's on the same account, delete a contact, which we actually don't want to do. We'll go ahead and hit the return key and hit cancel. Hit the menu key and go back, and then company directory, which allows us to search the company directory. So if we tap view here, this basically shows us what contacts are being displayed. So as I mentioned before, the 4 different types of contacts, 3 will always show as long as they're selected. In this case, I have a Google account tied to this phone, which is considered a web contact list. Then there's the Exchange Active Sync, which is our Outlook contacts. And then the phone contacts, which are actually stored locally on the phone. It's also important to note that if we hit cancel here and go back into the menu, the backup assistant only backs up the contacts that are listed on your phone. Now, if your other contacts spill over into the contacts on the phone, or the phone has them stored on the phone as well, then it will back up everything. So this can be kind of misleading. Sometimes you'll see contacts on the phone and they won't appear in Outlook. However, it is still doing a full synchronization, but it's only syncing your Outlook contacts, so only that contact type. It's not actually syncing the contacts from the phone itself. However, if you add a contact, once you get the phone, if you add a contact on the phone, it adds it to all your contact lists by default, which will then appear on your Outlook contacts. Or if you add a contact in Outlook, it'll spill down to the phone. It'll sync to the phone, and then you'll be able to see it from here, assuming you go into View and make sure Exchange Active Sync is enabled. So if you add a contact on your Outlook and you're not seeing it appear on the phone, it's a pretty good bet that you don't have Exchange Active Sync selected as one of the contact lists to view. Because if it's not selected, then it actually won't appear in this list at all. It's a little bit different than the Droid X. Some other different types of droids will let you toggle between them, but this one just displays a full list. Now, on the phone, you can select groups, so you can change the group type you want to. That's online directories. You can add specific groups, so you can toggle between different group types. So you can go family, and then that's a list of your contacts for the family. So it will let you do that, but it just won't let you toggle between the lists. So you just got to make sure that it's viewing the appropriate one when you're under just contacts. Notice the distinction here. There's the main contact list and then contact groups. So bottom line, I would just make sure that you go into menu here, go to view, and then make sure everything's selected. It should be selected as default, so we'll go ahead and hit cancel. Now, to add a contact, you could either do it from the menu here, add contact, or the easiest way is just to hit add contact up here. And then you can just type in the person's name. In this case, I'll type in my name, space, new. Hit OK. It'll let me enter in the other information. You can enter in an email address if you want. And then when you're done entering the information, you hit save. Now I appear in the main contact list. Now, again, if you add any contacts on the phone, it'll appear in all your lists. A nice feature about the contact list on this particular phone is you can actually go into a contact, and then this will display the contact and all the information you've input about them. And then you can go to any point on the slider down here. So say, for example, we go here. This will show all the messages, which are usually text messages between you and that contact. Any email items between you and that contact. And if this contact is somebody from our company, then it'll show all the email items. Any events related to them, which includes your calendar items. This is just for social media, for your gallery, and if you haven't tagged or anything like that. And then any calls you've made or have received from that individual. At any time, you can just swipe your finger to back and forth to go between the different menus. And then you go back here to go back to the main contact. If you want to edit the contact, you can just hit edit when you're in the contact, and then that'll let you edit any information. Then you can hit save. If you want to delete the contact, you can just hit the menu button and then hit delete. It'll ask you, are you sure? You can hit OK, and then the contact is no longer in your list. So if you want to add a contact by searching the corporate directory, the best way to do that is to go into your contact list, as we are now, go to menu, and then go company directory. This will allow you to search the global address list. So what you can do here, for example, we can start typing in somebody's name. We'll go ahead and type in my name. Or I'll just start. There we go. Go ahead and hit search. Got to hit that search button up there. And then I appear in the list there. So if I tap that, then there's my work email. It'll show a brief description. If you have a cell phone number in there or any other information, that'll populate here too. Now it's pulling up this information from our global address list. So at this point, if you got the right contact, you can hit save to people, and then that person, and then you have the option to edit the contact like we showed before. And then once you're done, then you can go back to your contacts by pressing the menu button and then going all. That'll take you back to all contacts. So that's just a sample of what you can do with contacts. Also too, you can bring up, at any time if you're in a contact list, you can bring up more options just by pressing and holding on their name. Or you can edit, and you can edit or delete or save it to a V card from there. So if we hit delete and hit OK, that's a quicker way to do that than instead of actually going into the contact, choosing menu, and then hitting delete. So there are several different types of contacts options available to you. Anytime you add a new contact list, it merges them on this phone. You want to kind of be careful with that. So if you add any social media or anything like that that contains contacts, it will populate down to the phone if you specify it under the menu. One last thing, if at any point you do want to call somebody from your contact list, obviously you would just select the person you want to call and then choose call work. If they have a mobile number too or other types of numbers, it'll give you the option to call whatever. It'll say call work, call mobile, call home, etc. Or you can see here you have the option to send a text message to that person as well. Also too, you can specify a distinctive ring for people. So if you select this, you can choose any other type of ringtone in case they called. Then that way you can know who is calling right away based on the ring that's coming through. It's a pretty handy feature if you need that. Hit cancel here. Then we go Menu, All Contacts. So that's how you use the phone in contacts. It's pretty straightforward. It's a basic demonstration, and there are a lot more other features available. I hope you find this informative, and thank you for watching.